Hi, it's Jen. So anyway, I rewatched 13 Reasons Why, and I have some theories because there's so many cliffhangers, and I just need to get out of my head, so I don't have to think about this anymore. So this is just, I don't have to think about this anymore. So this is gonna take me a minute because I actually had to write this down because I'm gonna forget, and it takes me a minute, but here we go. So my narrator ideas for who could possibly be a narrator are, and bear with me, and I know some of them are going to be weird, but I have reasons. Jeff, Tony, Clay, Alex, or Miss Antilli. Jeff, because he died and knew about Clayna. He just happened to be wherever Clay was. They definitely were friends, even if they weren't as close as Clay thought they could be. He tried to get Clay to be with Hannah, and he was a good friend. He was drinking that night for beer pong so that weird Troy guy would stop bothering Clay while he was trying to get with Hannah or talk to her. So that's why I think it's Jeff, because he's already dead, and Hannah's kind of the narrator with the tapes of the first season. So that makes the most sense since he's already dead. And Clay approached his parents about knowing him, and he didn't leave a note, which was another are you sure he didn't leave a note? Because Hannah's parents found stuff in her room, so the tapes are about to come out, and they're about to find all this stuff out, so maybe Jeff had secrets too? I don't know. Tony, because he will soon have to explain his part in all of this due to his name being on the paper for the deposition and the trial, because he witnessed the immediate aftermath of the suicide and has been trying to comfort her parents since he's her gay best friend. Alex, because there's a possibility that he shot himself. We won't actually know for certain that it's Alex in the ambulance, other than the fact that the principal said it's Alex. He's in critical condition at Mercy Hospital based on the video footage and the fact that Bolin informed Mr. Porter it has to be the morning of the day after this occurred. Clay, because he's the only one to take full action based on Hannah's truth. He loved Hannah and misses her a lot, wants to ensure no girl goes through what Hannah went through if they don't have to. Clay is a nerd and a gentleman, and due to his caring yet potentially twisted justice, he could be facing some bizarre repercussions of his actions defending Hannah's honor. And reminder, he was wrong about Jeff at the party because Jeff lied to him and said he wasn't drunk. About the Sherry tape. Just reminder. And Mrs. Antilli is the weird, oddball one. I threw this one in here because Hannah herself said that is a sad, tragic story for another tape. And I don't remember her telling us why she left or why it was sad and tragic or the tape of that story, which, due to the massive age difference between Miss Antilli and Hannah, Miss Antilli's strange desire to want very young friends, she works in high school, leads me to believe, along with the fact that they disclosed Season 2 has a different type of technology to figure out that Hannah was referring to something she knows about, which is bizarrely not connected to her own death, but possibly Miss Antilli's. So that's why that one's in there. It's a little bit of an oddball, but it makes sense. Now, that's just for the narrator ideas. The next part is a lot more heavy because it's my ideas about who's in the ambulance. Now, one is obviously, we have to talk about Alex. Everyone assumes Alex because the principal showed all the signs of someone with depression, contemplating suicide, or the willingness to harm others. He's sad, guilty, helpless, lonely. He told Clay in the one scene that he cannot leave his new friends, or then they will know something's up, which is a giant red flag to me because he's scared and he's using the fight, flight, or freeze to, as I would say, in a sense, hiding in plain sight because he'll be there with his friends, but they don't know, and then he just won't be there. And he's also stated he's only truly friends with Zach because Zach is how he became part of the group of guys, which means if it isn't Zach in the ambulance because he feels brotherhood with Zach. They showed Alex in his house when he was with his father cleaning his weapons for the police officer because he's a police officer. They also show how orderly they made his room, as well as a suspicious door slam after Justin came in the house because he was homeless and asked to stay the night. Which means along with Jessica, he has a clean access to his dad's weaponry, aka access without full suspicion, like it's under their noses, because his DNA is already on the guns due to going to the range with his conniving father he confessed previously in the flashback to Jess and Hannah at Monet's. Whew. Number 2 is kind of heavy because I have a lot right in this one. Tyler. He, like Hannah, has been bullied, mocked, publicly embarrassed on numerous occasions. His parents are fully aware of his actual suffering. Despite that, he's still being bullied. Clay made it worse by sending the photo around school via text message, but Clay isn't the one beating him up or pulling his pants down. If you recall, Monty has a very strange inclination to always rough him up in the halls, and it has yet to make sense to me why Monty doesn't like Tyler. So I'm wondering if it has to do with Sherry and Monty going out, because if you recall, in the photography room, Tyler scans the room looking at all their photos, and that one end scene in episode 13 pulls down the Alex one, but not until after it scans Sherry and Monty, and before it ends on Clay's photo. And I'm led to believe his initial intent was to harm Clay, but due to also being in love with Hannah and missing out on that due to her untimely death, he reconsiders in a moment to take it out on those truly harming him first, and/or in an effort to protect Clay until necessary to act against him otherwise later. So that one was heavy. So of course, leading off of that idea, again, a lot of this is a little based off number 2, the Tyler thing, because he had all those guns in his room. Number 3, of course, Monty, since I just brought that up, is the next viable candidate here due to everything I said just now. I believe this is possible because Monty and Sherry are or were an item, so maybe Tyler was hanging near her too much because she was pretty and sweet like Hannah, but also because she's on the tapes and Monty doesn't know about it yet. And I'm betting Tyler took her picture and Monty got mad. And this leads me to number 4, back to Mr. Justin Foley. He has been abused at home, is now essentially wasted as well as homeless, feels extremely guilty about Hannah because he started it all by taking the photo that ruined her reputation for dating her best friend after the fact, who now, because he let Bryce into her room, she got raped and he didn't go inside the room and lock it behind him. Because if he did that, he could have saved both girls and they would still be, Hannah would still be alive. Or could be alive. And of course, number 5 is, not really plausible, but it's a theory. Bryce. I have a theory that they ganged up on Bryce because 3 people who are close to him, who also hate him very much, mainly Tyler. And I'm saying this because the scenes, you didn't see Alex and I didn't see Monty either. But Clay is because we did see Clay at school that day. Clay being the righteous hot nerd next door, as I like to refer to him. Ha, Helmet, love you. From what I remember, he's still grounded, and he still has to go to the drug class at the police station. We haven't seen him go to drug class at the police station. His mom took him to the police station, but he hasn't gone to class yet. He keeps skipping out on things, dinner, school. To avoid the criminal charges for what Marcus did to him when he put the marijuana in his bag. Alex, Tyler, and Justin might have been getting together in private or in like a group chat or something to discuss disciplinary action brought on by themselves to Bryce, but it would be difficult to provide justice to a man with a distorted head who may not remember, because if you're shot in the head and it affects your brain and your organs, he might not remember, so that would make it even harder to serve justice to someone who may not know what's going on. So that's where I think that last clue to season 2 was about. So maybe I'm right, probably wrong though, because serving justice to Bryce would be much harder, but we'll see. And then the last thing I want to talk about is potential helmet chips, because Clay is a freaking gem. I love the idea of Clay and Sky, because it kind of ended with that idea, maybe, and they were already like friendly, and I think something went wrong with their relationship, so I think he's going to try to amend that, because he already knows that she's been cutting herself, and he doesn't want her to die either, because he actually cares about her. And then there's Sherry, who kissed him, so I think he might go back to Sherry, because even though she feels guilty for the thing that happened with the stop sign and Jeff, who's his friend, I think he might actually like her too, because he actually decided to kiss her and close the door. I don't know. And then, of course, her friend Kat, because he was already sort of close to Kat, because at the party in the flashbacks, they were like talking like they were already friends. Because she said that they've known each other since elementary school. if you remember from the party flashback. So he's known Kat a really long time, and she was her best friend, and he lost his best friend and the girl he loved. So that would be the quickest connection to Hannah, would be her best friend, because he now doesn't have a best friend either. He doesn't have his love or his best friend. So those are just my ideas, and I really need to get that out of my head so I can go to sleep tonight. Tell me what you guys think, and thank you for watching.